Conor McGregor guy through and through. He's an Irish guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's entertaining. He talks a lot of shit. I watched his documentary. He comes from next to nothing. He took over the game business-wise. He's a fighter. So outside of the cage, outside of the ring, he's made some decisions that you go, what the fuck are you doing? But he's also signed up to go fight people inside of the cage. So I assume there are some personality traits that potentially come with not all fighters, some particular fighters where outside of the ring or outside of the gym, there are some decisions that can be made that you go, why are you doing that? Well, they also go in to go try to kill people too. So you can ask why on both things. Some of those in a fight game, I think, happens. It's not cool, obviously, when anything bad happens outside of the sport, but I think it has a potential happening in the fight game. Now, Conor McGregor brought electricity. He brought the WWE full force into the UFC. He wasn't the first. He just mastered it and was better than everybody else. He brought in the Billy Strut from Vince McMahon. He understood the fight game, I think, better from a marketing and promotional standpoint than anybody in the history of the UFC, Conor McGregor. Yeah. And he also had a work ethic and a skill and a talent that he could match the shit talk and back it up, because the best shit talk is the real shit talk. And when you're becoming the champion and 15, 20 seconds or whatever it is, and then when you're winning 2 championships and you really have the fight game in a spot that you can end any fight with anybody, you can be better than anybody, and once you have that and you shit talk, you're talking epitome sports entertainer there. Mm-hmm. When your skill level is high and your mouth can match it, that is when, here we go. So Conor captivated me. He captivated everybody. When he got into the boxing game with Floyd Mayweather, also human, who figured out the game of boxing better than anybody in the history of boxing, and his skill level was at a point where he could do it. When he did, I bet on him there. I bet on Conor McGregor going over there. Conor's not going to get into this, even though it's going to be a big payday and everything like that, because at that point, his fight reputation was so fucking positive and so good. Why would you do this other than a payday? A payday's coming no matter what. You're already paid. Why would you do this unless you thought you were good? So I actually thought to myself, Conor's not signing up for this if he isn't. And the odds were like plus 10,000 or something like that. So I bet a massive amount on that, because the payday would have been hysterical. And for 10 rounds, he was legit, and then finally Floyd outlasted him and just beat the hell out of him, but still he put on a good show. What he became when he became a billionaire and he's sleeping on satin sheets in yachts, it can become difficult, I assume, to want to wake up in the morning, pound the pavement, Ariel told us, one fighter said, but also get tapped out, potentially get ringworm, get your face rubbed in some stuff, as much as somebody who doesn't have any of that stuff, because that's what you're fighting for to begin with. You get in the fight game for your legacy, but also because of the riches that come alongside of it. Conor has achieved all of those, and in the notorious documentary, money was a massive motive. I mean, this is obviously for everybody that comes from money was the motive. So once you get all that, how can you still train and be as savage as the person who's trying to achieve all that? I often wondered that. I asked that question, but still back Conor, because Conor was my guy. This past weekend with what happened with the whole wife in the DMs thing.
Oh, man.
Okay, so Dustin Poirier, the Diamond from Lafayette or whatever, the Lafayette Diamond, I don't know what it is, but I don't know enough about him. I will learn. The night before the fight, the other guy is telling the entire world that your wife is in his DMs or was in his DMs at one point. Now, what was said, who knows? Could have been a fuck you. Yeah. Could have been anything. Could have been way before. Could have been anything, right? Yeah. But just putting it out there how it was. Then he comes into the arena. This guy is booed, okay? So somebody leaking that your wife potentially was trying to cheat on you, which was the angle it was. We're not saying that's what it was. Could have been a lot of messages, but that was the angle it was. That's babyface, right? That guy then becomes the sad, so sorry your wife did this to you. Like, that is a babyface. He walks out, he's hated by everybody. He gets booed by everybody in there. So this guy, within a 24-hour period, heard and was told by everybody on earth that his wife was trying to cheat on him or potentially had sex with Conor before she married. Whatever the narrative was. Could have been a lot of other things, but that was the narrative that was taken. Then he gets booed by an entire arena. I started feeling bad for the guy at that point. Then when Conor comes out, and Conor's very aggressive, 2 spin kicks earlier or whatever, and he is doing well, but then Dustin starts doing his thing to him, right? And I didn't catch the point to the missed leg kick that potentially started the crack in the either ankle or lower leg thing there. But when Dustin pointed at that, I think that is a moment that's going to live on forever there. What happens after the match, when Conor's sitting on the ground, still saying your wife's in me DMs, I think that was tough for me to be like, okay, Conor, like, you, come on. And when Dustin was on top of him, grounding and pounding him, it looked very reminiscent to a lot of fights that Conor has potentially not boded well or fared well in whenever he's on his back or whatever. One for the guillotine, shout out Teddy Atlas, and he missed it, but then he ended up on his back. And the commentators don't ever seem to be on Conor's side, by the way. A lot of like, oh, this is bad for Conor, this is bad for Conor, and everything they were pointing out, I was starting to think back to his fights. Since 2016, he only has 1 win or whatever. That's 5 years. And we're talking about boxing, I think, involved in there. It's like 4 out of his last 5 fights he has lost. The win is the shoulder in that thing. Is it that he is sleeping in yachts, or is it the fact that he's maybe just at a stage body-wise, physically, that he can't do the same shit that everybody else is doing? Is he done? Does he come back? I became a Poirier guy on Saturday with the way he handled it all, and he clearly was winning the fight, and the other guy does it. I don't know. I've always been a Conor guy, but on Saturday, I was like, after the fight, I was like, I think I like this Dustin guy a lot more than I could have ever imagined.
I've always been a Conor guy too, and it made me think like, and he still is, but I was like, is a McGregor fight just like appointment viewing anymore? Like, will I, no matter what, spend $70? Like, I don't know, because like you said, he hasn't won he's won 1 time in 5 years. It feels like the last couple fights haven't been like particularly close, so it's just, I don't know. He
said the second round was going to change or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. As a Conor McGregor guy, I don't know enough about the sport. I don't know. Once again, Conor McGregor, I've supported for a long, long time as a fan. I bet on him and everything. And he was calling for a doctor's stoppage or whatever because his leg broke. And you saw, by the way, when it happened, and then he still had to sit on his back. I mean, it was incredible toughness and grit shown by Conor. Okay, sure. This is not a knock on Conor, but I became a big Poirier. I think after the fight, I don't know what the right promo angle is there for both of them, because Poirier is going to get another fight, which is awesome for Poirier. He's going to get another payday with Conor and everything like that. But I think Conor could have handled that. I don't know. It was almost a turn of the tide, I think, in feelings towards Conor, and most definitely towards Dustin Poirier, for sure.
Post-fight was almost the best part. Like Poirier's wife in the ring flipping McGregor off right before he cuts his promo. But you kind of have to respect it. Dude's ankle is basically hanging off his body, and he's already promoting his next fight. It's
he was getting pummeled in there.
Destroyed. Like, he was just eating elbows for about 2 minutes of the first round.
His skin must be tougher than most people's, probably because he's Irish, I guess. But
true.
He should have been busted open a few times on that eye with a couple of Poiriers, and it never happened. And I don't think I've seen any even swelling somehow. There was elbows dropped on his eye when he was on the ground. Bad. Now, he was doing damage as well, but I think Poirier was winning at the time. And Poirier said, I checked your kick. And then the internet finds it where he's like, that is just, I think a lot of points Poirier in the entire game.
Well, isn't that exactly what happened in the previous fight? Like, they did that kind of thing, and then the second round, like, Poirier just battered his ass big time and knocked him out. Like, who's to say that wasn't going to happen again? You know what I mean? Like, I almost feel bad for him, too, because I feel like...
Poirier or Conor?
Poirier, because, like, he... like, you get wrapped up in this, like, McGregor trilogy, and then, like, it's tough to walk away from that because you know how much you're getting paid, but also, like, if he beats Conor again, like, is that really elevating his status that much? And
now is it? Because the winner of that was going to go on and get a title shot,
right?
Dana said. Poirier beats him again, he's going to go get a title. So then as Conor worked his way back into a championship fight and then how pissed off will everybody be in the fight game that Conor gets it? I don't know. That's all for somebody else to figure out. I'm just saying from everything is the WWE perspective of life, which Conor and I talked about. That is how I look at everything. And I know it's not right. Listen, I know it's much more serious than that, but maybe it's a lot easier whenever you just view life as WWE, and it's like, oh, that's a good character, just came in, all right, out of there, see you later. Oh, bad character. Yeah, like and once you start doing that, I think the whole narrative after that fight changed, and I'm a big Diamond guy all of a sudden. I like old Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, I mean,